Hello, cat and the dog again as the audience. So, why are you gonna buy a motorcycle? So, big thing, motorcycles are a lot more maneuverable than cars. Look at the size of this motorcycle right here compared to the size of my model car right here. It is about half the length and about a third of the width. So it allows you to get into tighter spaces a lot easier and avoid things like potholes in the roads and get through dense traffic. Experience I recently had driving home from work, hour-long commute back home because of traffic. I had a motorcycle whiz by me in lane splitting, and I was sitting there and I'm thinking, what am I gonna do? Buy a motorcycle so I can get home faster and not have to sit in traffic. Speaking of sitting in traffic, commuting times and gas efficiency. Motorcycles make about 50 to 70 miles a gallon compared to my car, a Subaru Impreza wagon, makes about 20 miles a gallon. So I'm spending about $120 a week on gas alone for my job, where I would be spending at least half, if not a third of that, if I was able to ride a motorcycle, especially because I have tools on the job site. Another big thing is they decrease bottlenecks in traffic because they are smaller and able to lane filter. Instead of having a huge car, you have a small motorcycle that is able to maneuver, and like I said, it's about half the length of that car. It also reduces the fuel consumption compared to other cars. Motorcycles have smaller gas tanks and are able to utilize more mileage. Speaking of smaller gas tanks, you also reduce emissions due to the reduced amount of braking and power required to give power to the actual engine itself and produce torque. As well as, along with that, manufacturing costs and emissions are less because the amount of parts you are making are smaller, and you are able to get that footprint down, and you're not making as large of an engine. And then another thing is, along with that, is the lower resource consumption. While you're also making a smaller actual end product, you're also using less materials to make that product, and it allows you to be able to make more of them with less material, like less cost to you and less cost to the environment. Another big thing, motorcycles are a lot more engaging. Most motorcycles are a manual, and if you've ever driven a manual car, you know that it takes a lot more focus to be involved in the driving experience. You have to shift through the gears and be paying attention to what you're doing at all times, compared to when you get back into driving an automatic car, you're just sitting and drive and you're not paying attention as much, and it can lead to more accidents. Along with that, being more in tune with your car because you're driving something that is manual allows you to be more connected with the experience between you and the vehicle and the road. It also allows you to have more control, and with more control, you're able to have more fun, which is also a big thing with motorcycles, is the thrill. While yes, most people think they are just for thrill seeking and adrenaline, some of the points, and that's why we have so many different events like racing events, is the thrill and enjoyment of these vehicles. It's also why it would help it give you a better heightened awareness, because you are paying attention to what you're doing more, especially because the awareness of different cars not being able to see you because you're smaller, you have to pay attention to the road a lot more, and being more engaged with your riding and vehicle environment allows you to have a better opportunity to engage with your surroundings. Another part of that too is affordability and customization. There are so many different mods to do to bikes. You get different exhausts, different fairings, different colors, different wraps, different chains. You can make the have longer arms so that you are not putting your bike in wheeling as much. By having a longer swing arm, allows you to put more torque down without lifting up the wheel, and it gives you a little bit more accessible to a different demographic of enthusiasts, and it also brings a bit of attention just because of the customization to it. And because it's smaller and less materials, it also makes it a bit more affordable to modify these things, where you might be paying upwards of tens of thousands of dollars to buy a very cool sports car. You're paying about as much as a regular sedan to buy a very highly modded motorcycle or customize a base motorcycle, and it allows you to be more individual in your experience with them. And that is why I personally will be buying one in the future, because of my experience around them. My dad's ridden bikes his entire life, so has my friends and family, and they have shown me the thrill through being able to ride dirt bikes and other street bikes. I've already started practicing, and another part of that too is you have to have more experience to ride them. While I have my own driver's license, you have to get your own permit and license to be able to drive motorcycles, and it engages you more and gives you a chance to have a more enjoyable experience while on the road. And then some questions. Well, they might have not asked me. I've had other people ask me questions about motorcycles. Personally, why I love them is thrill. I'm a little bit of an adrenaline junkie, and I love going fast. Motorcycles allow you to produce a lot more power and torque with a smaller cost, like we're talking about affordability. So I could go 160 on this for less than $10,000, whereas my Impreza was 12 grand roughly, and it pushes itself to get to 120 miles an hour. Not that I've gone that fast. And then why is it practical and not as dangerous as other things? Well, yes, a lot of accidents happen on motorcycles. A lot of those are due to other drivers and not the motorist themselves riding the motorcycle. So it is more on unfortunate experiences from other drivers, and to be able to reduce that by producing more engagement around the motorcycle community and more awareness in driver's ed, and having more people buy motorcycles will increase motorcycle awareness and hopefully decrease the amount of accidents that happen with these. And then, like, who cares? Why am I buying something that I need to learn, have another license for, do any of that? Life is short, and you want to have as much enjoyment as possible, I would hope. I mean, we want to be happy and do the things for ourselves that make us happy. And for me, having a motorcycle and riding around brings me joy, and I've seen it bring joy to all my friends, all my family. They really enjoy motorcycles, and it just brings joy to them to be able to have that experience. To, like, for my friends, allowing me to ride their motorcycles, for my parents, teaching me how to ride a dirt bike, and showing my friends how to ride, has brought me joy, and being able to share that love with other people. And so for me, I'm just trying to live, I guess.